Fargo-Moorhead is an amazing community that stands up to support each other, especially in times of need.
Heather Beer and Chris and Shelly Allen are here to talk about a benefit that is to help a local family. To all three of you, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you
for having us.
So let's start a little bit with your story. You were diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma. Talk about your journey.
It started out where I had back pain for a couple of months, and it got worse and worse, and couldn't figure out what it was. I was going to a chiropractor, and it didn't get any better. So finally I decided, well, I'll just go to the clinic and see what's happening. And they took an x-ray of my back, and they noticed a vertebrae was cracked. And I couldn't think of any falls or hits I had taken that would have caused that, and they said it was probably due to cancer. They did some further studies and found out that I had stage 4 lymphoma, that it had spread substantially throughout my body. And so I had emergency surgery to repair the back, and then 4 days later started chemotherapy. And it was a struggle, of course, but we had a lot of support from everywhere, and made it through that. And then afterwards, scar tissue due to an infection in my back started kind of growing in my abdomen and scrunching off the kidneys and whatnot. So that's what we're kind of battling now, but that battle is going pretty well at this point. So.
Wow. I mean, you do hear of, different people getting that diagnosis of the word cancer. And since yours, you had to have things done so quickly, how did that kind of affect your family? I mean, you didn't really have a lot of time to process everything.
In some ways, that's kind of good, because it's when you don't have a lot of time to stew about it, and there weren't any options. I had to have surgery, I had to have chemo, so that actually kind of made it easier. And it was very good that we were in the Fargo-Moorhead area and had excellent care available to us. I had my family and friends and support from employers and everything, so it was really nice.
So did you have any inkling that may be going on with you? I mean, the fact that you had just a crack in a vertebrae and you're walking around like, oh, I better go see a doc. Do you have any inkling that it might be cancer, or you just thought?
No, completely caught me off guard.
So what was your reaction when you heard the news?
You just get a little shocked. I'm sure no one ever really is expecting that. But it's just, like I say, everything kind of happened so fast that there wasn't time to really process it or anything.
So Shelly, were you with him at this doctor's appointment when he was getting the x-rays and got the diagnosis?
No.
Wow.
It was just, they said, well, why don't the chiropractor, I think maybe you need to go in and get an x-ray. So he just went in and got an x-ray, and they said, I think this is probably a broken back. I think it's probably a tumor that's eating out your back. So I was getting ready for my classroom. Cancer doesn't have at that time it was back to school time, and I was busy getting ready for my classroom. And so August, here's my husband battling cancer, and I'm just trying to get all my ducks in a row. But I had wonderful support, and the parents in my classroom, including Heather, have been supportive and wonderful, and we just are in awe and amazed at the support that we have gotten. So
we love Mrs. Allen.
Well, I'm sure that's a big part too, Heather. I mean, for them to maybe if you haven't been able to tell everyone, but you have to seek out support because it is a lot that your family's going through.
Right. To go through something like that alone, and especially for them being in a somewhat new community. Right. At that time, they had just moved here from Bemidji. It had been, what, a year, 2 years that you'd been here?
1 year.
1 year, and then all of a sudden, here you are still in a somewhat new environment, and boom. And just to have such a loving support group as Park Christian School, and the parents, and then their church and friends and family. So I don't know. I mean, we've gone through our own medical, situation last year, and we wouldn't have made it without the support of those people. And I mean, that's just vital.
Yeah.
So it's been just an incredible journey. So when it started happening again, more things came up this year. Then we were all. I mean, our jaws just all dropped to the floor, like. No, like what's going on now? And so then there were more trips to Mayo, and how many trips?
We've had 7 trips to Mayo in the past 8 months. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are probably wondering what we can do to help support you guys, so we'll be telling you guys more about that when we come back after a break.